Now, let's talk about Qorvex. I'm going to give you my opinions on him, but these opinions are subject to change in the future because they may buff him in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what they're going to do. So this is as he is right now as I'm making this video. So, as you can see, his abilities focus heavily on the whole radiation thing. Just about all of his abilities, if not all of his abilities, do radiation damage. Crucible Blast, we'll get to that, okay? We will get to that. Let's talk about his first ability, okay? This ability is probably one of his better abilities, I guess. I'll explain later on. I have some good things to say about him as well, but first I want to go over the questionable things, which is, first of all, his stats. Okay, let's look at his stats. And this is the build that I ran him with at sort of a test trial thing. And you'd think with over 2,000 armor that he would be a lot tankier, but he wasn't as tanky in the conventional sense as you'd think. He was pretty tanky in a certain sense due to health reasons and the arcanes I have and whatnot, but the main bulk of his tankiness came from his 1 and sometimes his 3. Sometimes his 2 rather. His 3 is interesting because of the fact that his 3 does not actually do any damage reduction as far as I know, which I was very confused, honestly. I thought hit 3 did some damage reduction and stuff, and even to this day, I still cast his 3 sometimes just because I'm like, ooh, damage reduction. But no, it didn't seem to do any of that. Maybe I'm reading it wrong or whatnot, but hit 3 didn't really seem to help damage reduction. It did make me feel better casting it, so I get that. And speaking of feeling, let's get to hit 2, okay? This is both a positive and a negative. Let's go with the positive of hit 2 first. The positive of hit 2 is that it's very fun to do, okay? It's very fun to summon walls on both sides of the enemies and smash them in between. And since it inflicts radiation status, it confuses them because if you have a good amount of range, such as in the build I used, you can actually just get like a whole hallway of enemies smashed together, and it's fun. It's very fun, okay? But the downside of this ability is it's right in front of him, okay? But that may not make much sense. Let me elaborate. It's right in front of him on the plane that he's on. So on the level that he's on. It's not like wherever the cursor is, that's where it appears. It's literally in front of him. If he's right on top of stairs, it will appear right in front of him. It won't go down that stairs. none of the enemies below the stairs will be affected in any way. It doesn't affect like in a cylinder or anything. It's just a straight line right in front of you. Or maybe it's a cone, I don't know, but the point is it's right in front of you. It doesn't affect behind you, it doesn't affect above you, it doesn't affect below you. Even if they're just like a few feet below you, they're out of reach of it, so you have to recast it. Also, looking at it, I tried jumping and casting it a number of times. I was not able to jump and cast it, unfortunately. Jumping and casting was a no go for me for the most part. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't have potential. You know, if they could buff it and make it look similar to somewhat how in a cone or rather in a cylinder above and below as well. If they could do that, then this ability would be golden. It would probably be his best ability, which you'd think was his 4, but it's not his 4, okay? Because his fourth ability, I'll read what it does. Release a beam from Qorvex's crucible core. Each enemy struck suffers radiation damage with a guaranteed status effect. Enemies affected by radiation status explode in a chain reaction. Now, this does technically do a lot of damage, but at the same time, it does not do a lot of damage. It's very weird how it works. It works similar to how Wisps 4 works, except for with Wisps 4, you have it till you turn it off. Whereas with this 4, it's duration based, or rather, it's duration based. As in, it has a set duration that it does, and then you close the core and then go about your business. Now, I tested him on the steel pack for all this, in case you're wondering where this opinion came from. It's from the steel pack. Now, I'm sure on the normal star chart, he's brilliant, like best in show, couldn't ask for another frame. But it is worth noting that I think I did only die once technically. His armor and stuff, maybe I thought it was a little weaker than it was, but it wasn't too shabby, okay? But I do have to admit that you do kind of move around a bit more than you'd think with him. Overall, he is fun, okay? He's a fun frame. That's what I would call him. A fun frame. He's not the most powerful frame. He's not a super weak frame either. He's a fun frame. You'll have fun using his 1 and his 2. His 3, you'll be like, okay, fine, I guess. And in very niche situations, hit 3 will be something that you're like, yes, I wanted all that status removed. Thank you. But for the most part, he's a fun frame. His 1 and his 2 are fun. His 4's like a, okay, I guess type thing if you want to do that, I guess. But yeah, his 1 and 2 is where it's at, in my opinion. But I digress. Again, Like I said, all this could change in the future. The update as I'm making this video has only been out for a day or two, so things could change. But let me know your thoughts. Do you find him fun? Do you think he should change? Do you think I'm a crazy person and he's super OP and you think he should be nerfed? Let me know all that comment section below. And with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.